Namaskara. This is a video on Kannada grammar, trying to give it in a very concise manner for people who do not know the Kannada script. So many people that I have met always keep asking, how much should I learn to be able to speak Kannada? Right? So this question keeps on coming, or they say things like, "Oh, I don't know the basics. You started, you're going into details, so I don't know the basic, so I'm having problems." So people have this problem thinking that because they have missed a few things in the beginning, that they are not able to understand Kannada grammar, which is not true. Uh, for spoken Kannada, the grammar is very, very limited, and and the same thing keeps on coming again and again. Okay, so wherever you start, you'll still be able to pick it up. That's basically what I observe about spoken Kannada. We are not going to write poetry, or we are not going to write a literary work. Right? We are just going to speak Kannada. We are going to try to listen to movies, Kannada movies, TV serials. So that is actually a very limited scope, and that's exactly what I'm trying to put here. So this is called Kannada grammar in a nutshell. So if you watch this video, and if you're able to follow this, you will be able to understand all the concepts that you're going to get in depth. You will never get lost. So that's basically the intention of this video, and it is also directed towards people who do not know the Kannada script. So I've given everything in English transliteration. Anybody who is having this confusion as how much you have to learn in order to speak Kannada, this video is the answer for you. Okay, so here is a roadmap for learning Kannada. Okay, so first you learn pronouns, right? Then you learn tenses. Then you start making two-word sentences with one pronoun and one tense, and use 30 verbs, right? 30 most common verbs. Okay, then you learn what is simple present tense, you learn simple past tense, you learn present perfect tense, you learn present continuous tense, and you learn negative tenses. That's all. You don't learn any other tense. These five tenses are the important ones. Then you learn the vibhaktis of pronouns. Each of these boxes, I'm going to give one slide in the next coming slides. You'll have one slide for each of this. Concept of declensions and nouns. You have to understand this. Then you start making two-word sentences with one pronoun in the vibhakti form plus one noun or a verb. Okay, this is to practice the concept of vibhakti. Okay, then you learn modes. There are four modes. You just learn that. Participles, again, there are two types of participles. You learn that, very important. Modes, participles, then we have modals. Modals are also very important. Then postpositions. These four are going to make you stronger. This top three rows, or yeah, top three rows that you have here, they are the foundation. The fourth row is what makes you strong in speaking Kannada. Everything else, you learn it along the way. Okay, so you cannot cover everything, but these four layers that you see here, or the four rows, once you cover it, you'll be super duper comfortable listening and understanding anything that is said at whatever speed people say. Just have to learn this. And everything else, right? Things like vocabulary, words for example, what is tomorrow, day after, what is yesterday, what is today. These things you learn along the way. You cannot memorize. Proper learning, right? Sitting in a class and learning is going to be one, two, three, four layers is what you have to learn properly sitting in a class. Everything else you just get it by watching videos or watching movies. Okay, let's move on and take each one of this for one slide. Pronouns. There are 9 pronouns. Nanu, Navu, Neenu, Neevu, Avanu, Avalu, Avaru, Adu, Avu. Nanu is I, singular, common gender. Right? Navu, we, plural, common gender. Neenu, you, singular, common gender without respect. If you're talking to an inferior or somebody casually. Neevu, with respect, you. Right? Plural, common gender. Avanu, this is where in Kannada the masculine feminine comes starting from Avanu. Okay, I mean Avanu and Avalu are the only what you call pronouns specific for gender, masculine, feminine. Avalu, feminine. Both are without respect. Avaru is with respect, right? So remember, I do note people who are new to Kannada. to use avalu for women, even if they are representing, even if they are trying to indicate them or trying to call them with respect. That's wrong. So when it's a male or female, if you want to ensure that you want to call them with respect, you should always use avaru. Avalu is used for, say, if you're talking about your daughter or you're talking about your younger sister, right? Then you can use avalu. If not, go for avaru, which is common gender for male and female. Adu is for that, avu is for those, meaning neuter gender. Okay, suffix of tenses should match the pronoun. Okay, so you will see this. So you will have the next slide, you will see tenses, then you will understand this. So these 9 pronouns, each will have a corresponding tense suffix, which you need to match. So this is pronouns, 9 of them. In my opinion, when you start off, you can just start off with nanu, right? Then neevu, avaru, adu. 4 are enough when you start off to learn, right? Then tenses. So basically tenses are nothing but you take a verb, add a suffix to the verb that corresponds to the pronoun. Nanu martini, navu martivi, Ninu martiya, Nivu martira or martiri, Avanu martane, Avalu martale, Avaru martare, Adu madatte, Avu madattave. Madu means to do. Okay, you take the verb, add a suffix, and that suffix has, so there is a unique suffix for every pronoun. Of the 9 pronouns you have, every pronoun has a unique suffix. You just need to learn the suffix for every tense. So there are 9 tenses, so you will have 9 times 9, 81 combinations, but you 81 tables like this. But you don't need you don't need to know everything. All you need to know is the simple past, simple present, then continuous present, and then the present perfect is all you need to know, which I'll give as a table in the end of this presentation. Okay, so it's 9 tenses times 9 pronoun. You get a 9 by 9 table. That's what I meant by 81, right? It is a table with 9 rows and 9 columns. It covers everything, but you don't need to learn everything. There is no need. That's only for if you're going for, like, major translations, you're doing book translation and all, then you need to know. For normal spoken Kannada, you just need to know simple past, simple present, and present continuous 3, and present perfect. Just 4 tables is what you need to know, right? So it will be a 9 by 4 table. It's much simpler. Okay, so again, idea is to learn this along the way by more practice rather than trying to memorize. Okay, as you keep on doing more sentences, you will automatically get the suffix. Okay, so nano is martini. So in the end of this video, I have given tables for these 4: simple past, simple present, um, continuous present, and present perfect. These are the only ones you need to know. Okay, so now I hope you understand what tenses are. Tenses are nothing but the pronoun plus verb with a suffix. Okay, so those are your tenses. Let's move on. Then pronouns, Vibhakthi. So Vibhakthi is an operation that you apply on a noun. Okay, and you always start to learn a pronoun only. You don't learn other nouns, right? For example, name, place, things. You don't want to learn tree. You don't want to learn sea, ocean. These type of words you don't want to learn in the beginning. You always learn pronouns and do Vibhakthi on pronouns. That's the best way to do it. For example, Vibhaktis are, for example, Nanu is Prathama Vibhakti, I. Nannannu is me, Dvitiya Vibhakti. What it means is he calls me. If you want to say that, then it will be Avanu Nannannu Karetane. Right? He is calling me. So you become the object, he is the subject. So for objects of a sentence, you put annu suffix, nannannu. He is calling me. They are calling her, right? So that her is this avalannu, annu suffix, okay? Then by me, through me, okay? This book was written by me. Nanninda, nanninda, right? Inda is the suffix for by me. Nanninda ee pustaka barayalpattitu, right? By me, through me. By and through both are nanninda. Then nanage, right? To me. So nanage ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಿ, give money to me. ನನಗೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಕೊಡಿ, ನನಗೆ ಊಟ ಕೊಡಿ, right? ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು? This ge is to, okay? To or for you. What do you need to you? Preferably to you. That's what it means. Ge is for to. Nanninda, right? Nanninda, from me. Nanninda ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಸಹಾಯ ಬೇಕು? What help do you need from me? Nanninda. So that's again inda. As you notice, the Tritiya Vibhakti and the Panchama Vibhakti both are inda. Okay. By looking at the context, you'll be easily able to understand whether it's from or by. Okay. Nanna is my. Okay. ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಪುಸ್ತಕ, ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಪೇನ, ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಮನೆ. ಮನೆ means house. Like that. So that's nanna. Okay, my possession. Right, next is nannalli, in me. Okay, nannalli ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಗುಣಗಳಿವೆ. I have good qualities. Okay, nannalli ತಾಕತ್ ಇದೆ. Takat means, I think it's a Hindi word. Takat means I have the ability. Right, that's nannalli. So learn these 7 vibhaktis. So vibhaktis are suffixes added to nouns. Okay, tenses are suffixes added to verbs. So this is the clear understanding you need to have. The difference between verbs, vibhaktis and tenses. Vibhaktis are suffixes added to nouns. Tenses are suffixes added to verbs. Okay. So these 7 vibhaktis, you learn it on pronouns. Because pronouns are fixed, you have only 9. If you take other noun, for example, pustaka, gadihara, all these are, they are all ending with different letters. There are rules that will change the suffix. That's why always learn the vibhaktis using pronouns. That will be very, very easy because there are only 9 and all of them end with u. Nanu, Neenu, Avaru, Adu, Avaru, Avalu, all of them end with u. Because vibhakti, when a vibhakti suffix gets added to a pronoun or a noun, the last letter of the noun, if depending upon the last letter, you need to add one or more letters in between before you add the vibhakti suffix. I'll talk about that. That's called a declension. There is one more slide for that. So that's why to keep your keep things very easy in the beginning, always use a pronoun, apply the vibhakti suffix and learn it. Okay, so the highlighted letters are the vibhaktis. They have been applied on the pronoun nanu. Okay, you can apply that on any of the pronoun. Adu, for example, I've given the thing for adu. Adu, adannu. Adu means that. Adu, adannu, adarinda, adakke, adarinda again, adara, adaralli. It means that, again that, the adannu, right, is the object. That, meaning I am seeing that, right? That is a book. I am seeing that. Both are that only in English, right? When you use it as a subject or an object, it is that only. By that, right? The other in the. So you can go, you can walk by that, you can walk through that door, right? Other in the, adakke, to that. Give that dog. So dog you will say adu because it's a neutral gender. Adakke uta kodu. Give food to dog, right? From that, adarinda, right? Adarinda neenu, for example, if it's a bag, okay, ನನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಇದೆ, my bag is there. ಅದರಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ತಗೋ, take money from that, like that. Okay, so this is that apostrophe s and this is in that, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದರ ಹೆಸರು, ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಒಂದು ನಾಯಿ ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ಹೆಸರು ಟಾಮಿ. I have a dog and the dog's name is Tommy. ಅದರ ಹೆಸರು, right? ಹೆಸರು is name. So like that, all pronouns, if you just have to add the, as you could see, the Pratama Vibhakti doesn't have any suffix. Okay, so the starting from Dvitiya to Saptami Vibhakti, you add the suffix. This is your called the Vibhakti. Then we have interrogative pronouns, which is also very important to learn, which is questions. Enu means what. Elli means where. Eke, yake, yenakke means why, for what. Hege, henge. Hege means how. Henge means in what manner. Okay. Eshtu is how much or how many. Yavaga is when. Yava is which. These are the interrogative pronouns you need to understand. And there is the concept of open-ended question and closed-ended question. Open-ended question will use one of these interrogative pronouns. Okay. For example, Nimma hesru enu. If you ask like this, it's an open-ended question. Why? You cannot answer a yes or no with it. I mean, yes or no for this question, you have to answer it with a full statement. My name is this. My name is Ramu. Like that. So this is, so any sentence with one of these pronouns, interrogative pronouns, is called an open-ended question. A closed-ended question means you can answer it with yes or no. For example, Nimme hesaru Ramuna or Nimme hesaru Ramuva. It means is your name Ramu? Then you will say yes, Haudu, or you'll say no, Illa. This is called a closed-ended question. Okay. Then you can have a question tag in the end. You can say Nimme hesru Ramu Alva. Isn't your name? I mean, your name is Ramu, isn't it? Isn't it in Kannada is Alva. Okay, very easy to use. Then, isn't your name Ramu? Nimme hesaru Ramu Allah. Allah means that is again another way of saying, um, isn't your name Ramu? Right? So both are same. I just gave these two examples because people have difficulty always have asking these type of question tags. So I gave it here itself as part of interrogative pronouns. So let's move on. The noun declension. This is what I was talking about. Why you have to learn vibhaktis, right? Using pronouns and not nouns. Okay. The reason is this. Declension. I'll explain the concept of declension. Depending upon the ending letter of a noun. Mara ends with a. Okay. Pustaka ends with a. Then mane ends with a. Mane means house. Ends with a. So depending upon the last letter of a noun, a special letter must be added between the noun and the vibhakti. We know what is vibhakti. Vibhakti are the 7 vibhaktis. Annu, Alli, Inda, these are all vibhaktis. So you cannot add a vibhakti directly to a noun. Okay. You need to put what is called as a sandhi. Now that is called as declension in English. So depending upon the last letter, you have to add one letter which is called the sandhi letter, and then you have to add the vibhakti. So Rama is a name, so it ends with a. So you cannot say Rama Inda, you should say Ramaninda. So na is added as the declension for a ending masculine and feminine names. Okay, Ramaninda. But if this a ending, if it's a ending neuter gender, for example, Mara means tree, then this will become the Maradinda. Okay, so u ending will basically is what we learned, which is all the pronouns are u ending. That is the reason I say learn vibhaktis using pronouns, because they are all u endings. You will not have confusion, right, initially, because this Ramananda, Maradinda, these things should come naturally as you learn more, not by hearting. Okay, so this is the concept of declension. There are rules for declension. You just have to learn them as they come along. Okay, don't try to memorize in the beginning. I mean, if you're able to memorize, well and good. For those people who don't like to memorize, who want to learn naturally, you can learn. You just have to be aware of this concept of declension and learn things as they come by. Okay, of course, I have my video on nouns, which is a very extensive two-part video which goes on for something like 3 hours, which explains all the gory details of all this declension. Okay, you can learn that. Okay, so done. This is done. Let's move on. So declensions are what you apply on noun. Vibhaktis are also suffix on noun. Just remember that. Okay, so when you're learning, apply vibhakti on pronouns and learn. For example, Nanna Pustaka means my book. Avana Mane, his house. Avara Gadi, his vehicle. Avaru Raju, he is Raju. Avalu Gita, she is Gita. Nanninda Avarige, from me to him. Okay, Avarinda Nanage, from him to me. Nanage Kodi, give to Kodu is give. Nanage Kodi, give to me. Uta Nanage Kodi. Like that. These are very simple ways to practice the vibhakti. So always practice vibhaktis on pronoun. Avarige kodi, give to him. Nannannu nodi, look at me. Nodu is to see. Nanage call madi, call me. Okay, these are the ways by which you will be able to learn the vibhakti suffix, but always learn it with pronoun. You can always extend it to other nouns very easily, but learn these vibhaktis with pronouns, all the 9 pronouns, because there are only 9 of them. Apply the 7 vibhaktis on the 9 and all combinations, and then you learn the sentence. Okay, then we have the next concept, which is called as moods. Okay, moods, there are 4 types: imperative mood, infinitive mood, potential mood, and conditional mood. Okay, first one will be the imperative mood, which is command, request, or instruction. If you have been in Bangalore long enough, you will know this already. E kelsa madi, Okay, Madi means please do. Okay, Nodi means please see. Okay, Nanu madla, shall I do? Avaru madli, let him do. Avanu navu madona, let us do. So imperative mood is nothing but it gives, I mean, these are suffixes added to verbs to give the effect of giving a command or a request or an instruction. I have an imperative mode video, meaning I have a mode for, a special video for imperative mode. You can easily learn that. But this particular video that I'm right now doing is to give you a grammar in a nutshell so that you know what is imperative mode and you can go and learn it as it comes along. Okay. Then you have infinitive mode. Infinitive mode means to eat. Okay. Tinnakke, to drink, to walk. This is all called infinitive mode because there is no what you call tense added to it. It is only giving purpose. ನಾನು ತಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಹೋದೆ. ನಾನು ಕುಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ನೀರು ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಾ. So bring water for me to drink. So this akke is a suffix for infinitive mode. There are three other suffix, but akke is the most common suffix. So you can use this. Okay, so you take a verb, add akke to it. It gives the effect of to the verb. Okay, so that's infinitive mode. I have a video for infinitive mode. Then potential mode. Potential mode are words like can, should not, must, do not, bahudu, baradu, beku, beda, nanu madabahudu. So you take the verb, add bahudu to it. Take the verb, remove the who, add a bahudu to it. It means I can do. Right? Nanu madabeku means I must do. Nanu madabaradu, I should not do. So these are all very easy to form. This is called potential mode. Next one is called the conditional mode. Conditional mode is very important. You have to add re to the past relative participle of the verb. Okay, so madu, madidare. It means if done. Okay, if nodidare, if seen. Tindare, if eaten. Neenu ee hannu tindare ninage shakti baratte. If you eat this fruit, you will get power. So for these type of if condition sentences, you have to use a suffix re. But you cannot directly use it on the verb madu. Instead, you take the madu, change it to a past relative participle, madi, madida, then madidare. Again, I have one special video for conditional mood. You can go and watch it, right? But when I say conditional mood, you should be able to understand. That is the intention of this video that I'm presenting. Okay, so these are the four moods. Then we have participles. Participle, we have this relative participle. I like the work which you are doing. ನೀನು ಮಾಡುವ ಕೆಲಸ ನನಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯಿತು. ಮಾಡುವ, ಮಾಡು, ಮಾಡುವ. You add that word to it, it becomes which you are doing. So participles are nothing but you are using a verb behave like an adjective. For example, the work is qualified by which you are doing thing. I mean the which you are doing, you are qualifying the work, right? Using the action that is being done on the work. So I like the work which you are doing, right? Similarly, I like the work which you did yesterday. ನೀನು ನೆನ್ನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೆಲಸ ನನಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯಿತು. ಮಾಡಿದ, ಮಾಡುವ. So these are participles is how we normally speak. Okay. So I have like a very detailed video on participles, but generally relative participle means it is making a verb behave like an adjective. Okay, for example, that is a good work. Good is an adjective, but if you use a verb for it, for an adjective, that's what a relative participle is. See, you're saying I like the work, I like the work which you are doing. That which you are doing has become an adjective, right? It is supposed to come in front of the work. Okay, I like the work which you're doing. That which you are doing is what this maduva means. I like the work which you did. This is past tense of maduva is madida. So Madu becomes Maduva, Madu becomes Madida for present relative participle and past relative participle. Okay, Nodu becomes Noduva. That which you are seeing. Neenu Noduva mane, Nanu Nodtini. I am seeing the house that you are seeing. I am also seeing the house that you are seeing. That you are seeing is Noduva. Okay, Nodu Nodida, that which you saw. Neenu Nodida mane, Nanu Nodide. The house that you saw, I also saw. That is Nodida. So the above is called the relative participle, and there are two types. One is the past relative participle, which is Madita, present relative participle, which is Madhua, and I have a full-fledged video for relative participle. So in this video, again, I am repeating, I'm just giving you like an overview of what comprises of a spoken Kannada grammar, so that you don't get confusing. How much should I learn? How much is there for me to learn? That kind of confusion should not come. Okay, next is a verbal participle. I went home and then ate. So two actions. Nanu mane hogi tinde. So when you want to talk about two actions, you use verbal participle. Hogu will become hogi. Okay. Hogu means to go. Okay. I saw the movie and became happy. Movie nodi santosha ade. Okay. Movie nodi. Nodu become. So whenever there are two actions, the first action has to be in verbal participle. And that is how it is done. Hogu will become hogi, nodu will become nodi, madu will become madi. Just have to be careful. This madi has got nothing to do with the imperative mood madi. Right? The imperative mood madi means do this work. Here, kelasa madi mane hode. I did work and then went home. I ate food while watching TV. So you can use verbal participle in past tense form. You can use it in present tense form. TV nodutta, uta tinde, nodutta while eating TV. So this is two simultaneous action. So verbal participles are used to represent two actions that are done one after the other, which is called the past verbal participle, or two actions done simultaneously, where you will have to use utta. TV nodutta, uta tinde. So you also say, I will go and come. For example, when you're leaving, you will politely say, you won't say, I'm leaving. Instead, you will say, in Kannada, you will say, Nanu hogi bartini. I'll go and come. Like that. I will come and speak. Nanu bandu matartini. Bandu is your verbal participle. Okay. I will come and then speak. Nanu bandu matini. Matartini. Matadu is to speak. So this is a concept of verbal participle. Again, you have two forms. One is the present verbal participle, which uses the utta suffix, and the past verbal participle, which can use e or u, depending upon the ending letter of the verb. Hogi, bandu, these are all verbal participles. Again, verbal participle, if you want to learn more of it, go to my video and learn it. This is just an overview. Okay, then we have this concept of negative participle. See, there is no work that I have not done. ನಾನು ಮಾಡದ ಕೆಲಸ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. Prapancha means world. There is no work that I have not done in the world. Okay, so this is a concept of negative relative participle. I went home without eating dinner. ಊಟ ತಿನ್ನದೆ ಮನೆ ಹೋದೆ. So you basically take the add they to it. Okay, for this negative verbal participle. For the negative relative participle, you just instead of they, it is just the ಮಾಡದ. Okay, ಮಾಡದ, ಮಾಡು, ಮಾಡದ. Whereas the negative verbal participle will be they. ಊಟ ತಿನ್ನದೆ. So this without eating is represented as ತಿನ್ನದೆ. So ಮಾಡು, ಮಾಡದ behaves like an adjective, right? ಮಾಡದ ಕೆಲಸ, ಕೆಲಸ that has not been done, and it comes in front of kelasa. That's why it behaves like an adjective, even though it's a verb. When you add the to it, it becomes not done. That which is not done. That I have not done. Madada, right? Madade means without doing is madade. Okay. Then there is no movie that she has not seen. Avalu nodada movie ne illa. Nodada movie means not that which has not been seen. She went away without watching the movie. Avalu movie nodade hodalu. See, here is nodade hodalu. This is nodada movie. The and they. Very subtle difference, so you have to be careful. So I will ask the questions that he has not asked. Avaru ಕೇಳದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ means question. ಕೇಳದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ means question that has not been asked. Okay. He kept quiet without asking any question. ಅವರು ಏನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೂ ಕೇಳದೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇದ್ದರು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ means be quiet. ಇದ್ದರು means kept he was there without doing anything. So prashne is question, right? So ಕೇಳದೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇದ್ದರು means without asking. So this ಕೇಳದೆ is without asking. This is the concept of negative participle. Okay, done. Then we have modals. Modals are words like can, could, may, possible. All this is ಬಹುದು. Should, must, have to is ಬೇಕು, ಲೇಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು means I have to do it no matter what. Could have ಇರಬಹುದು, right? So I could have done a better work. Okay. So ನಾನು ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಇನ್ನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿರಬಹುದು. I could have done that work even better. So those are all this could have, should have, would have. All these things have corresponding words in Kannada, and I have a video for modals. You can look at it for details. Right? Would have, ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, I would have done. If you had told me, I would have done that work. How will you say such sentences? You will use the word ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. Should not means ಬಾರದು. You may come inside. ನೀನು ಒಳಗೆ ಬರಬಹುದು. But things like permissions is also modals. These group of words are called modals in English, and in Kannada I'm just giving the corresponding words. You may see the doctor. ನೀವು doctor ನೋಡಬಹುದು. I can do this work. ನಾನು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. These are all called modals. Okay, very easy to pick up. Okay, modals are very easy to pick up. Then we have this concept of postpositions. I have a detailed series of postpositions. Postpositions are nothing but suffix added to verbs to give some other meaning, give some extra meaning. Okay. And in Kannada, suffixes are heavy, postpositions are heavily used. Madu, right? Maduvudu, what you are doing. Neenu maduvudu sariyalla, whatever you are doing is not good. Right? Madiddu, what you did is not good. Neenu madiddu sariyalla. Right? While doing this work, do that work also. ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ okay, this is called ಆಗ. ಮಾಡುವಾಗ, ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡು. Right? ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, right? If done, if you do this work, you'll get a lot of money. ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. This is similar to this is exactly same as conditional mood. I've given it like a postposition for you to learn easier. So this is ಮಾಡಿದರು, even if done. ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದರು ನಿಮಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರಲ್ಲ. You will not get money even if you do this work. ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, right? ನಾನು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Right? ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, wanted to do. This is like past tense. Right? ನಾನು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, but you did it. ನೀನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ. It should have been done by me, but you did it. So that's your ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. Right? Then ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, I had to do it because he did not do it. ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ಗೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ therefore ನಾನು ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. I had to do that work. Right? ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, we talked about ಬಹುದು already in modals. Then we have ಮಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. This is like could do, past tense of ಬಹುದು. Right? I could do this work 1 year back. 1 year back ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. Right? ಈಗ ಮಾಡ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Not able to do. So ಮಾಡಬಾರದು, you should not do. Then we have this ಮಾಡಬಾರದಿತ್ತು, again should not have done. Again past tense of ಬಾರದು. ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, right? I would have done. We saw this in the modals already. ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, I have not done. Right? ನಾನು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. Right? I have not done. ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, for doing. ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಡೂ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಡೂ ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್. Right? ಮಾಡದೆ, we saw this already. This is negative participle. ನನ್ನ ಮನೆ ಕೆಲಸಗಾರರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡದೆ ಮನೆ ಹೋದಳು. Without doing her work, she went away. Right? ಮಾಡಲಾರೆ. Okay, this is actually used more on newspaper and formal speech. We don't have to learn this, but I've given this because it's part of postpositions. Cannot do. ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲಾರೆ. If you say this, it's very poetic, so not used in spoken. So ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, cannot do. In Kannada, ಆಗಲ್ಲ is used for cannot. Okay, ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, I cannot see, like that. Okay, then ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳು, do it yourself. I have of course I've dealt with this ಕೊಳ್ಳು auxiliary verb in detail in my other videos. Okay, so that's your postpositions. I have like a complete series on postpositions, so you can always learn it. Then important grammatical terms. Vibhaktis, as I told you, there are 7 vibhaktis that get attached. So vibhaktis are nothing but suffix that get attached to noun to give different meanings. Declensions are nothing but letters added between a noun and a vibhakti depending upon the last letter of the noun. Okay, then you have tenses. Tenses are suffixes added to verbs to represent person, number, and gender. First person, second person, third person, number and gender, which is singular, plural, gender, masculine, feminine, neuter. Tenses provide those details. Conjugation, types of modification to tenses depending upon the last letter. Just like declension. What is declension to nouns? Conjugation is to verbs. For example, madu is u ending, right? There are most of the verbs in Kannada are u ending. There are some of them which are a ending or e ending. For example, kare is to call, right? So for kare, a ending and e ending, you have to add ya in between before putting the tense suffix. That is the rule, and that's called conjugation. Okay. Then participles are nothing but suffix added before tenses to represent the concept of time, and participles can exist on their own, like what we saw this relative participle, verbal participle, right? That which you have not done, or I did my work and then went home. Those are the places where participles are used. If you see my verbs and tenses video, you will understand how participles are helping to form tenses are obtained from participles actually. So verb plus participle plus the tense suffix gives you the complete tense. Then we have modes. There are four modes, which is your command, suggestion, condition, infiniteness, and you also have the imperative mode. Then you have modals. Modals are words which represent possibility, doubt, certainty, permission, request. Then there is this concept of clitics in Kannada, where again I have a video on clitics. Clitics are nothing but words, letters added to end of words to represent a certain emotion, like doubt, interrogation, emphasis, emotions, right? Okay, Ninu Ramu na, that na, right, is basically a clitic. Okay, are you Ramu? If you want to ask. Okay, so these are the grammatical terms. So this is the table that I was mentioning about for tenses. So there are only four tenses that are important for spoken Kannada. One is a simple present, simple past, present perfect, and present continuous. Nanu martini. It means I do and I will do. Both present tense and future tense is martini only. Navu martivi. We will do. Neenu martiya. You do. These are all spoken tenses. Okay. Written form is different. I've given a separate video for difference between spoken and written Kannada. Okay. Neenu martiya, you do, you will do. Neevu martira, you do, you will do in plural. Okay. Avanu martani, he do, he will do. Avalu martale, avaru martare. Adu madatte, avu madattave. That does, that will do. So this is your simple present tense. Simple past will be Nanu madide, I did. ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ we did. ನೀನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ you did. ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದಿರಿ you did. ಅವನು ಮಾಡಿದ he did. ಅವಳು ಮಾಡಿದಳು she did. ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದರು they did. ಅದು ಮಾಡಿತು it did. That did. ಅವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವು those did. So then is your present perfect tense. ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ I have done. ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ we have done. ನೀನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀಯಾ you have done. ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ you have done. Plural. ಅವನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ he has done. ಅವಳು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾಳೆ she has done. ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ they have done. ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದೆ that has done. ಅವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವೆ those have done. Right? So then present continuous tense. ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ I am doing. ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ we are doing. ನೀನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀಯಾ you are doing. ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ you are doing plural. ಅವನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ he is doing. ಅವಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ she is doing. ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ they are doing. ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ that is doing. ಅವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇವೆ those are doing. Okay. Present continuous tense is for action that is happening right now as we speak. So these are the four tenses that you have to learn for every verb. This is for the Madu verb. Then we have this negative tense in Kannada. Nanu madalla means I will not do. Okay, simple present. And it is same for all pronouns, which means Neenu madalla, Avanu madalla, Avaru madalla, he will not do, she will not, Avalu madalla. Everything is the same madalla only. So it's easier. Simple past, you will say Nanu madlilla, I did not do. Madlilla. This is madalla, this is madlilla. ಅವನು ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. Everything is lilla only. Okay. If you want to say it in simple way, it means, see, this is I will not do, this is I did not do. Okay. Then present perfect will be I have not done. Right? ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. This is ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, this is ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಹೋಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ. gets added to the verb. That's your negative present perfect tense. Then present continuous tense. I am not doing. ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay. I'm not doing any work right now. ನಾನು ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಈಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Right now I'm not doing. So that's your ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, and it's same for all pronouns. Now, the thing that I wanted to say is, if you want to ask a question in Kannada, you take the statement of any tense, drag the last syllable. For example, ನೀನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ, will you do it? Right? ನೀನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ, just like without changing the tone, it means you are doing. But if you say ನೀನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯಾ, means will you do it? By the tone you can change, and dragging the last syllable in the statement. ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, will you do it? Like that. ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಾ, will he do it? Like that. So the last syllable is what you have to drag to convert it into a question and add a tone to it. Then you are done. Okay, so that was the last slide. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. What I wanted to emphasize is, I gave you a roadmap, and this is all that you have to learn in order to uh, learn Kannada, spoken Kannada, right? So there's nothing much. You basically have to do the same thing again and again, maybe for about 6 months, and you'll be able to speak in Kannada. So I hope this video clarified all your doubts, and the feeling that there is so much to learn, kind of a what you call it, is just an illusion that there is so much to learn. There is actually nothing much to learn. It's a very fixed scope. As long as you cover that roadmap, you're done. You just have to keep repeating it, and you'll be stronger in your spoken Kannada. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.